Hey guys, it's ArchieLuxury. ArchieLuxury from the ArchieLuxury channel, the Paul Pluta channel, and ArchieLuxury corporate. Guys, keep watching. Keep watching. I need the viewers. I need the viewers. I need the subs. I need it. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Tell your friends, whether you like them or hate them. Just tell them anyhow. ArchieLuxury on YouTube. Hey guys, it's Paul Pluta. Today I'm on the Paul Pluta channel. We're doing paid reviews. This is paid review 20 SE39. 20 SE39. Quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing a Patek 5127G Calatrava. This here is for Doug. Hey, dear Archibald, I most enjoy your videos and am asking a favor to level the playing field. After all your numerous close-up have made messes of my keyboard when Diet Coke of mine spewed out of my nose in laughter. Specifically, you have mentioned that you have contacts in Vietnam to whom you may point me that might provide me with relatively quality Rolex dials. Specifically, I'm a fan of the vintage appearing Mickey Mouse redials. I'm looking for a 39mm one to fit a 214270 Explorer 1. Why, you may ask? Because an Explorer 1, although awesome, is relatively cheap. I have the means. I couldn't care less about keeping value. I never sell anything anyway. I just give it to someone if I stop wearing it. I wear what I like, and most importantly, my daughter loves Mickey Mouse, and I love my daughter. I don't really care about price, but I, like you, hate eBay crooks. Just want a fair price. Again, I thoroughly enjoy your vids. Rock on, brother. So I did make a video, this would have been a number of years ago, where I mentioned when I was working in Thailand in 2004, 2005, and I had seen, I didn't say I had access. I like the way it's a little bit out of context, but I had seen these beautiful redials, and some of them were vintage cars, and I have seen Mickey Mouse dials. Now, I gotta tell you, let me just correct this. I think you might have the wrong idea here. When you say I had contacts, it's not like a factory where they churn this stuff out and I can order a 39mm, I can order this, or it's not quite like this. Let's just clarify it. Number one, just because I may have seen this stuff does not mean I endorse, support, or am a dealer for this stuff. I got to be completely honest with you. Trademarking and copyright and things like that, Disney Corporation is not somebody to be messed with. Believe you me, that is, you might think it's an innocent mouse. Man, you want to be very careful when you're messing with Disney. The next thing is, Rolex themselves they take very, very unkindly to people who mix, mash, or mess with their watches. They don't like that. Then, of course, I mentioned these dials are coming from Vietnam. Yes. I never knew anyone who made them. I'm just telling you. I had seen them in the Bangkok Thai watch market, and that's where they came from. I was never really that interested in them, to be completely honest with you. I kind of thought, oh, yeah, well, it was a bit of a novelty, but you can imagine this trouble that could lead to. The other thing is, when these dials were available, I have seen dials for sale. You couldn't just order, hey, I want one for a 214270. Okay, yep, next. It doesn't quite work like that. You basically get the dial that he's got in the market. These are often spare dials, what often has happened is they've changed the dial on an oyster date, oyster perpetual, a date just the stand. These are old recycled dials. That's what they essentially are. So to say, hey, I just want a 39 mil for, man, that's a modern dial. There's no way in the world they would have this sort of stuff available. It doesn't quite work like that. It's not quite that easy, you know. It's not quite that easy to do. And then my advice myself, I gotta be totally honest with you. I, as an enthusiast and a collector, I don't actually support putting in a Mickey Mouse dial to a watch. You're basically butchering this watch, okay? You're basically butchering this watch. And I'm, you know, why would you... Now, he says he's a typical American here. He big notes himself. Well, I don't care about money. It's for my daughter, blah, blah. It's just all full of shit, to be completely honest with you, Doug. No, I don't. I honestly don't support that. I don't support that. I don't support it in the least, because you are butchering a beautiful watch and you're causing trouble for the future owner of this piece. You know, I myself, I don't mind somebody buying a Redial to put into an old watch that they can't get parts for, so they try the best they can to restore it. But when you've got a nice modern piece, I honestly think it's sacrilege to pull out the dial, put in another dial. You're really, every time you do this sort of stuff, you can damage the watch. It's not something I would recommend. So, to be completely honest with you there, Doug, I think you've got the wrong shtick here. I have seen Mickey Mouse dials, but these were for small watches, because the guys who do this are normally coming out of Vietnam. They're coming out of these countries where labor is incredibly cheap, and these dials they got for next to nothing. And then they've painted them. Now, man, I don't know who the hell does it. I have no idea. I've seen them. Last time I was in Thailand, I haven't really seen them, because I'm not looking for this sort of crap. Is it easily available? Well, I don't know anymore. I don't live in Thailand anymore. And I got to be honest with you, Thailand has been cracking down on trademark and copyright infringements. So I don't know how you're going to find this sort of thing that easily. My advice to you would be to leave the watch alone. Don't butcher it. Don't butcher it. Don't change the dial. And when I did see these dials for sale, these were for 6694 oyster dates. They were for, you know, similar vintage oyster perpetuals. That they weren't. Oh, I want a 39 mil one. Yeah, it's just. I think you've got totally the wrong idea to it. And even if they were available, I actually don't support it. I think you are being very, very silly to do that. I think it's a bad idea. So just because I've said in my videos, hey, I happen to see this, doesn't mean I endorse, doesn't mean I support, and doesn't mean I'm a dealer for this sort of crap. And to be honest with you, I don't support anyone messing with... You're basically turning the watch into a Franken watch. Now, people say, oh, well, I'll keep the dial. I know so many cases where they've mucked these things up, and then... that, you know, it's really devalued the piece. So forget. I love watches. I love beautiful watches. I love watches, but I'm not going to support you doing this sort of thing. I'm not in support of it at all. I think that's wrong. I think, no, don't do that. It's wrong to do that. Keep the watch original. Don't butcher it. And those dials aren't easily available. I think you've got the wrong idea. You think it's like an assembly line. Oh yeah, just have a 39 mil. Okay, we need a 40 mil. Man, I think you've got totally the wrong idea. And I would honestly say to you, don't do it. I would not help you do it. I would not help you do that because I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong. I don't mind people putting on a Redial if it's an old watch. I think that's a different. I don't really support putting a Mickey. I think that's kind of, a bit tacky. And I got to be honest with you. Don't butcher a beautiful, nice watch that people can't get. They love because it's really. I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong. So I got to be honest with you, Doug. I think you got the wrong idea. For starters, this was dials I saw years ago. I was never that interested in them. And then they were only for smaller. Then you can't just order, I'll take one for an Explorer one, it doesn't quite work like this. These are a backdoor industry, okay? Backdoor is the word there. So to be honest with you, don't do it. It's dumb. It's very dumb. And not to mention, Disney and Rolex, they could come after you. That's a very dumb idea. So yeah, I think it's stupid to do that. Personally, it's not what I'd be doing. Okay, I don't support it. And I don't even have contacts. I don't even have these contacts. I saw it years ago. I don't know who the hell. I don't even remember the dealers that had. They just were in the watch market in Bangkok at Jug, and a few dealers had the odd little dial you may see, but they didn't have hundreds of them. And you order this, man. It's not that type of industry. So I got to say, Doug, don't take it the wrong way. But man, I wouldn't mess with the beautiful Explorer 139 mil. What a dumb idea. Guys, that's a paid review. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Don't be afraid to put some comments down below. And remember, guys, remember guys, that I can't survive on Google Ads alone. I really do need you guys to get paid watch reviews done. I'm just a small businessman trying to cut out a living making content on watches. This is a very difficult niche. It's very small. I barely survive. I don't think you guys realize Google Ads is terrible at the moment. With COVID, it is awful. It's terrible. I desperately need your support. Paid reviews. It's $50 for a paid review. I will review your watch, your collection. I'll give you advice and I will answer questions for you. Come on, guys. Help us out. If I don't get your help, I'm going to sink. I am going to sink. Okay, guys, I will see you in the next one. Hi, guys, ArchieLuxury. And who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie
is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the Pontiff goes. You know, some of my Pateks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.